What is going on, Eric?
Not
welcome,
much, not much.
welcome with us. Hey, why don't before we even get going, why don't you tell the world who you are, boss?
Well, I'm Eric Strub, and I run All Flocked Up Outdoors up here in Devil's Lake area. I fish with Perch Patrol and Northern Flight. I duck hunt with in the fall. We're bringing you up here, and we're going to try a little bit of a snow goose hunt and hopefully some coulee fishing while you're here.
Darn
The
right.
coulees are running, and the fish are starting to move up. So hopefully this cool down we have coming won't affect it too much on you.
Well, I'm excited for it. So let's back that up. We are in the middle of April. I believe that we're going to be traveling Friday. This is going to be coming out right before that because we are going to have a ton of content coming out while we're there. We're going to have posts on the, of course, the Devil's Lake tourism page. We're going to be doing some blogging. We're going to be doing a lot of photos and reels and kind of letting everybody follow along. But April 17th, let's rewind this a little bit because I know that you guys had a ton of white birds already coming through. And
Yep.
so, as far as this time of the season, a lot of people, what they'll do is they'll look at the reports and they'll follow the reports and they'll go to where they are. When I called you, yes, you can get birds at that time and see a ton of birds, but why don't we back this up a little bit and explain why we're first coming towards the end of it. Why is it now that we want to be out there? Why is it the time to start looking at this time instead of at the front side?
Well, them front edge birds, when they come through, the majority of them are all old adults that have seen the war. They know they've got to get up on that Arctic and they've got to get on a nest, have their eggs, fledge them, and get them turned south before winter sets back in up there. They've got a real narrow window to hit. So those ones are your first birds through. They're pushing that snow line and they're trying to get north as fast as they can. Now, following them is the non-breeders and this year's juvenile birds. The teenagers are left alone. So what we're doing is we're trying to attack them teenagers. You remember when you were left home alone as a kid at the first time? All sorts of
Yeah,
bad choices were made, and we're
yeah,
going to try and
buddy.
capitalize on them bad choices.
All right.
So those ones just don't feel that urge to get up there as quick, so they leave behind, and we're trying to capitalize on their inexperience and youth.
Excellent. So, what is the main forage there? I mean, what are they in search of? Why do they stop in the Devil's Lake area within driving distance of course,
Well, we've got so many things going for us. Obviously, we're a huge agricultural area. So there's corn, there's barley, there's wheat, there's all sorts of food here. But then the lake itself and all the water in the area, it gives them somewhere to roost, somewhere to drink. You can go other areas where you've got all the ag, but you don't have the water for them. They need some water. Right now our big lakes aren't open, but there's enough sheet water and stuff in the field. They can still grab that drink to get their food down.
Very cool. Sheet water. A lot of people don't know what sheet water is. Can you explain sheet water to us and why
Yeah, it's
that
just
area is so prominent on the waterfall itself?
Yeah, the sheet water here comes out of our snow. And I mean, last fall we had 15 inches of rain, I think it was, from like the beginning of September to freeze up. So you congregate that with our snow melt and everything. And all the low areas in the fields, the sloughs, everything fill up. It creates great nesting area. Farmers hate it because it's hard to get through with the tractors, but it'll dry up. But it creates great nesting area, loafing areas, places for them to feel safe. Everybody's got to have a home to feel safe at.
Mm-hmm. So the sheet water, to those that are not familiar with it, basically it's a puddle in the middle of a field, correct?
Yeah. It doesn't have a ton of depth to it. They a big piece might be a foot or two deep in the middle, but basically it's somewhere where they can just lay in the field, feel safe because they can't get to that big water yet. They can't sit on the lakes. It's ice. They can, during the middle of the day, some of them will go sit on top of the ice, but they're looking for fresh water, just like every other animal. They need that to drink. It's part of
That's
life.
That's awesome. So the trip that we got coming up that we're extremely excited about, we got Chris Jennings from Ducks Unlimited and John Huffman, who is a photographer over there, and Paul Johnson is coming down from the Lake of the Woods area just to join us and have a good time and be a part of us and everything else. Why don't you kind of give us a rundown of what your day looks like? That why if I was coming from out of town, which I am, why would I hire somebody like you, Eric, to I guess up my success? And we're going to get into that for the fishing as well. but more so for the snow geese. And you also guide ducks during the fall and everything else. Why
Yep.
would one from out of town want to seek your services?
So you can come here, you can buy all your decoys, you can do this trip yourself. There's a few key components that I have that are above you that are going to help your success. First one is landowner relations. I live here, I'm here every day. My kids go to school with their kids, we go to the same churches, we drink beer in the same bars. So there's a lot of land I can get outside of our leases that might be harder for somebody coming to the area to get into. Another thing is because I'm here all the time, I'm driving. I know where the birds are. When you get up here, you're going to be spending a lot of time on that windshield just trying to figure it out. Where are they going? Where are they coming from? I'm here all the time driving every day, so I'm seeing where they're at. You're going to save yourself money in fuel, everything, equipment by using our services.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of a no-brainer, especially if you're coming from somewhere far away like Michigan, anywhere like that. By the time you get here, it just doesn't pencil out. We're just as cheap as doing it yourself or cheaper. Plus, you have all that local knowledge behind you.
Perfect. No, and a lot of people, you hear it all the time of, I go out there and I don't catch fish, or I go out there and I don't, there's so much competition, everything else. And that's the added benefit of being able to hire a guide. I'm not going to get into why you do this or why you do that, but there is definitely advantages, just like you spoke. But the other thing that we're doing is when we come out and we're going to do some snow goose hunting, there's going to be some time in the day, and we're going to be packing some long rods and hitting those transition areas by the bridges and the coulees that you were talking. What are we in search of this time of year? Why is the fishing fantastic in Devil's Lake right now?
You've got all them fish coming out of the lake up into the current to go search for areas to spawn. So that it just can be a coulee, for those of you that don't know, can be 30 yards wide, and it's just runoff. So they're coming up into there, trying to get up into the northern feeder lakes, wherever they're going to try and spawn. And you're just going to sit there and capitalize on it. I mean, it is some of the most interesting, fun fishing that I've ever done in my life. You're on shore and something that you'd think, what is the guy fishing for a tractor in here? What's in this little thing, And you're pulling beautiful walleyes out of there like crazy. It's a great time. If you've never experienced it, it's really one of those things you have to come to Devil's Lake to experience. It's something different for walleye fishing that most people will never see in their life.
That's incredible.
And
I'm
plus,
over. Go ahead.
the other part of that is we're open year round. Where a lot of the states around us, like Minnesota and stuff, they have a shutdown walleye season. Here in North Dakota, our season never closes. So you can be fishing walleyes year round here.
That's awesome. So not only do you have the walleye, the pike, I'm sure that there's going to be white bass that are mixed in, coming through and everything else. And the limits of those have up to, I believe, 30 a day now?
I think it's 20, but I would have to look.
I,
We
I
don't usually fish much of them.
Gotcha. Yeah, I think that they just upped it this year, but I'm not positive on that as well. But I'm excited about it. I'm going to be packing some long rods. I'm going to do the thing. We're going to be staying over at Woodland Resort, right there. I believe that you do a lot of guiding during the spring and the fall and everything else out of that area. You know,
Yep.
all the local establishments and going into the beer house and having some Black Dog Brewery and I mean, if
Oh,
you
yeah.
want to go to the casino, there's just so much this time of year that there's so many people that are sitting there going, what do I do? Here in Wisconsin, we got the river and we can fish that, but if you have a lot of runoff, it starts rolling real fast and you can go west. It's just one of those things where Lake Erie always has, or I'm sorry, Devil's Lake always has something that we can do and have a good time and everything else. And it's just, we're excited. The flights are booked. The vehicles are changed over. We're ready to roll. What do I need to bring to be successful out there?
Well, the biggest thing is if you're coming hunting in April, you don't know what the weather's going to be. We're looking at a high of 71 on Wednesday, Friday night, 17 degrees. So you got to have gear for all sorts of weather here. It could rain, it could snow, it could be sunny and 70. You just don't know this time of year. So your gear, your shotgun, I recommend at least a case of shells. a day to bring into the field. You can always use them somewhere else. The thing is, if you get into a burner on snow geese, you would rather have more than not enough. I've seen it so many times. Somebody brings in 5 boxes of shells and then they're super sad because they burnt through them. So the ammunition, 2 guns, the mud's gonna cause trouble in guns. So you make sure you bring that gun in the field with you. It isn't gonna do you any good back at your hotel. Other than that, we supply the decoys, we supply the blinds, the whites, the fields, everything.
Awesome.
So pretty much you just need your personal gear, whatever you're going to eat, and we go hunting.
Very cool. Well, we got you booked up the end of the week, but if there's any time that they can get out there within the next couple of days or after that, Eric, how do they get a hold of you? How do they touch base with you and if not this year, next year, book a hunt with you?
Well, you can either get a hold of us on our website, All Flocked Up Outdoors ND, or you can get a hold of me personally on my cell phone at 701-230-9173.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm sure that Jared will have that all, laid out and all that other good stuff with some pictures, and we'll ask you to shoot over some pictures so we can lay that out and make it all fancy and everything else. But we greatly appreciate your time. Anything else that you want the world to know, Eric?
No, everybody needs to come experience North Dakota one time.
Awesome.
It's a waterfall. It's a waterfall mecca. It's a Canadian style experience south of the border.
Very cool.
Come enjoy what we have.
Well, I'm excited. I'll see you soon. I appreciate it. And
all right, sounds good.
I'm gonna go continue packing, and we'll get rolling out that way. So appreciate your time.
All right, we'll see you in a couple days, Pat.
Yes, sir. Thank you.